lineup. But, well, you predicted a very easy victory from LGD.
I thought it was going to be close.
Closer than this.
This guy, Blitz. Blitz predicted an easy win because he is a mastermind.
Well, we'll send it back to Blitz, who is predicting victories left and right, and, of course, LD as well.
Blitz, you are indeed the mastermind. Break it down for us.
Well, I mean, LGD's just look so strong. Since I started casting them with the qualifiers, they haven't lost a game, so I'm going to take credit for it all. Clearly,
are you feeding them info?
I'm the wrong kind of Asian for this, but...
Did you have something to tell us? Do you have some money on LGD? Are you feeding them a little inside info? All these pauses, is that where the Merlini police is busy getting drunk in the kitchen and you're on the phone with Xiao 8?
I think
you got something to tell us, Blitz?
Again, but, I mean, they've played phenomenally. They got that Kunkka. We saw IG ban it the first game, and now we know why. They played it so phenomenally.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Xiao 8 in that fight at the tier 2 mid, he hits a 3-hero torrent and catches the bear, and he lives on like 10 HP, runs up the hill, jukes Darkseer through the trees, ends up living the entire time, and we're just in the other room going, are you serious? He's dead. He's dead. He's dead. And then he lives, and we were just blown away.
And they're really using that the Kunkka ship, the Coco's Rum effect. As soon as that launches, there's no hesitation. The entire team just runs straight forward. They just dart, and they fight for the entirety of it.
And the cooldown got buffed recently. It's so strong now, and you could spam it.
Yeah. Sorry, back to Kerr?
Go ahead.
Their entire team, all their heroes, they had all low cooldown spells on their heroes. There's no one with like a giant Ravage cooldown or anything like that.
Okay, burst summons are pretty long.
Yeah, but they... Okay. Oh man, buff Visage, 10 seconds CD on birds.
He's 16-3 between this tournament and the International 3 Eastern qualifiers. I just want to say, I mean, this hero is winning a lot of
Best
games.
hero.
Return of Visage of
Best hero.
Trials? I think so.
Best hero.
Maybe not best hero.
Dota 2.
I think Lifestealer still got that.
You guys can't see because AOI keeps on forgetting to look at the camera, but he has like the most ridiculous kid in a candy store grin on his face.
Good hero.
Yeah, it's a good hero.
Good hero.
So LGD,
Okay.
I mean, they thrash both of the other top Chinese, so your premier Chinese teams. IG, 43-3. They then take down, I didn't even catch the final score there, but it was like something like 34-4. I mean, it was another beatdown. That's for damn sure. They have taken care of business when it comes to their Chinese opponents. We haven't seen them yet play the Western teams. Based on their performance, I'm feeling good, pretty good about LGD's chances. How about you guys?
I think a team like Alliance might actually surprise you. We
Yeah.
saw that with the game against Dreams, where they were able to properly utilize that that split push style, and we actually saw the Alliance do that against Liquid, where they picked a Nature's Prophet, they picked an Anti-Mage, and they just kind of pressured left and right, and they never directly engaged LGD in a fight, and that's what LGD does really well.
But Dreams is a team of perfect 10s. I mean, that's a hard opponent.
It is difficult when you get a team of that, but I think Alliance actually, if they can play like that stylistically,
Yeah.
that'll be a really good matchup against a team like LGD, where you never really directly engage them, because as we see, when you engage LGD in team fights, you lose, because they actually do that almost as good as or better than anybody else.
Yeah, their execution is really good. They don't overextend very often. I didn't feel like DK was comfortable with CK Wisp. They didn't seem like they knew when they wanted to go. They ended up really forcing the issue at that tier 1. I mean, diving past the tier 1 towards the tier 2 when you've already given up first blood, you're not winning the lane. That felt almost desperate, and just didn't seem like they were in their comfort zone with those picks.
Yeah, not at all. And it just felt a little forced. It was like, oh, well, we have Wisp CK. But the thing Kurt talked about with the Visage, what makes it so great is that it gives you the option of offensive tri-laning every time.
Right.
Meaning that you can pick a really safe solo short lane hero, and then from there, you have the potential to win 2 lanes.
And they got Lone Druid, and
Yeah.
how often does he not win his
Exactly.
lane?
So that's just, in a situation where you can snowball off your lanes alone, most professional teams from there on, they don't relinquish a lead like that.
By the way, Xiao 8, another interesting stat. He's 3-0 on Kunkka. This was not really a statistical tour de force. He's had some other ridiculous games like 17-1-15, 16-4-14, something like that. I'm probably messing up the numbers slightly, but some really good performances. I'm currently watching Gods taking shots in the kitchen, really working hard, preparing for the cast coming up. But that's going to wrap it up for this series, guys. It is LGD, now 2-0 in the group, tied up with Alliance. We have one more match coming up for y'all. That'll be coming up right after this. But for the time being, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we will have our final match of Day 1 for the G1 League Season 5 LAN Finals. Stay tuned.
10-man battle plan. I am a can of whoop-ass. Shut your trap. Incoming! The turtle wins the race.
There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's our final match of the evening, day 1 of the G1 League Eastern qualifiers. Or, excuse me, not Eastern qualifiers. Man, I'm thinking the International 3. The G1 League LAN finals. I'm actually the only one who's not drinking at the house, but apparently I'm drunk. Anyway, it's going to be Orange Esports versus Invictus Gaming. Will, you're not drinking either. You're just very hungry. So we'll run through the teams super quickly and then jump into the draft. Jarrett, cue up the hexagons. Well, we'll start with the player cards. Mushi, playing the hard carry role, known for solo mid play, but he now goes to the safe lane. This guy, Ohio, the gentle giant, he plays the 2 position. Moving right along, we have KYXY, used to be the 6th man for Orange, now is playing the off lane. Further still, we have Extinct, who is known for his greed, always makes net by all the wards, and this is that guy. Net himself, Orange Esports, arguably the most talented team outside, or in Asia, I would say outside of EG in terms of individual play, outside of maybe teams like LGD or DK, but I think Orange might even have better talent. It's more their team decision-making strategy where sometimes they do struggle, but they look good today. They took down Liquid. They're 1-0 in the group. And Will, we have Invictus Gaming.
We have Zhao playing the 1 role, or the
Joe.
hard carry, Joe, for Invictus Gaming. Sorry, I'm in a rush. Let's do this. We have Ferrari 430 playing the 2 role, or the mid, for IG as well. We have YYF playing the long lane, as we well know him.
Discovered working at a gas station
Really?
by 2009. That's how he started his competitive career.
We're going to see Chuan, my twin, playing the 4 role for Invictus Gaming. And we've got Faith playing that 5, and also captaining for IG.
That wrapped up Invictus Gaming. We have to fix the hexagon. They are no longer perfect 10s. They got absolutely crushed by LGD. They're 0-1 in the groups, but these are International 2 champions. This is Invictus Gaming. They may have looked bad in one match, but until they're actually out of the tournament, I would never think of counting them out. So, guys, the draft's about underway. Let's just do quick predictions, then we'll hand it off to the casters. So, for me, I got to stick with IG here. I think IG will take it 1-0, but I would not be surprised if Orange does. IG looked a little bit shaky in that first game.
Definitely. I'm going to predict Orange winning 30-22 final score.
What? You're abandoning your Malaysian brother? Unacceptable. Well, Lumi, you've got a lot of brothers in this game. You're Chinese. We'll throw it over to Lumi, AUI 2000. Your predictions, guys, and then bring us into the draft.
Curtis Ling is also Asian, so
I'm Chinese too.
there you go. We're the Asian brotherhood here. People are calling us twins, which
Who's the older twin?
yeah. Tell us in chat who's the older twin. He's taller than me, so maybe that's that.
I came out first. I'm superior.
There you go. All right, so quick predictions before we jump into the game, or as we jump into the game.
Honestly,
Sometimes
I
IG
will
is IG.
always pick IG.
Okay, so all right, you're done.
I
I'm
will
gonna
always
pick IG
pick
as well.
IG.
Yeah, we're the true Chinese here. We're casting.
I love IG.
Chinese
Whenever I
game.
want to learn, I watch IG.
Sure, fair enough. Same thing here for me as well. It should have been God's casting, but earlier, as you heard LD calling him out, he was actually taking shot with Ben Wu, the Merlini police.
He took like 2 shots and he just passed out. I don't think he can drink.
Look, like Gods have been taking shot every day, right? I'll talk about the draft in a bit, but yesterday we were having a poker game, and he got knocked out early because he's a scrub, and then he was trying to buy back into the game, right? So people are saying, all right, how do you buy back in the game? So the end up buyback cost was to take 3 shots and jump into the pool, and this was like 10 p.m. night, so it was really cold. But he bought back and pwned everybody else. So Gods is drinking every day here at BTS. That's how your donation dollars. That's exactly where it's going to.
Oh, Christ.
And that's how I'm gonna leave it at that. All right, but here, let's go jump in the game. Invictus Gaming on the Radiant side. First picking Lone Drip, banning out Shadow Demon and Darkseer. Meanwhile, it's going to be Lifestealer and Bat Rider ban from Orange Esport. And they're going to pick up Gyrocopter and Nyx Assassin.
See, this is what's so weird about some teams. Nyx completely ignored in some drafts. Now he's picked in the first round.
And this is a pickup that we haven't seen too often today because it's always banned out Clockwork. I personally love this hero a lot, quite a bit as a support. Your team plays it as a support all the time. Tell us what it actually does as a support, because normally as a support hero, you think about things like Shadow Demon, people that will have natural stuns or natural disables, and they don't work well with a lot, or they could work well with a lot, very little gold. Is Clockwork a very similar hero in that regard, or is he different? He's melee, so that's a big difference so far.
He is melee. Cogs are sort of ridiculous. You can break up an entire team fight. He's one of the few supports that can sort of just initiate a completely initiate a fight from half the map away. What's his range like? 3,500 with eggs if you ever get
if you have it, at level 16.
Yeah. But I mean that is pretty late with support, but sometimes it does happen. And Cogs is sort of like, if you're support and you trap their hard carry into Cogs, and you have like a Ghost Scepter or Force Staff as Bobo often does, and you lock a Lyster in your Cogs for 8 seconds, you win an entire team fight just off that one hero. Rocket Flares is also very good because what Falk does, he's usually the Clockwork player when he's on support. He looks at their team, finds a support, and Rocket Flares them for the entire game. And the end result is they have to go back and heal multiple times. It's never really seen by casters, but I've watched one of the replays, and in one game the Shadow Demon healed like 4 times from Rocket Harass.
Just straight up all day.
Just from Rocket Harass. And the result of that is he didn't gank that much. He was very under leveled, and I killed him like 2 flat cannon hits with Garo.
Okay.
So he's also very good in lane. He's surprisingly good in lane as a support.
It's hard to dive him, and it's hard to dive whoever he's protecting because of the...
Yeah, that's exactly why. I mean, they go on someone, you cog them, and wow, that's a meg. I really hope that IG put a Dragonite in a safe lane and put Clockwork mid for stat.
Yeah, you were saying that Clockwork just absolutely dumpster against Magnus. It's hard for him to get that initiation because of the Rocket Flare you talk about. It's easy to counter initiate or get the jump on Magnus before with the hook shot. But before we talk about the matchup too much between Clockwork and Magnus, I want to ask you a little bit about Gyrocopter. You could hook in, you could cog him, but he pops BKB. He has a flag target right in front of him, and everybody's getting basically cleaved.
In general, Gyro is very good versus Clockwork. One of the reasons, similar to that Batrider Meg thing, where Batrider posts on back, Meg gets an easy RP, Clockwork hooks in, Gyro gets a really easy ulti. One of my favorite things to do is I have a Clockwork on my team, I have a Divine Reaper Gyro, I hit my own cogs. Because you hit a creep, it dies in 1 hit. You hit a hero, it dies in 2 hits. But if you hit cogs, they always last 3 hits, they don't move. You can get your 6 attacks off very quickly. 2 cogs, shift kill it, easy hits. You can also do it against enemy Clockwork just as well. I want to say that Clockwork also does pretty decent against Garo throughout the early mid game, just because he does give you that gank option. It's actually really hard to split push as someone like Gyro against the Clockwork, which is really what you want to be doing as a 1. You want to be relieving some pressure from your team while getting farm. But sometimes you're like, oh, TP's coming in, let me just waltz away, I'm quite fast, I have my phase drums, whatever, and then boom, hook. Yeah. And then sure, he calls you, sure, you have Rocket Barrage, 660 damage is a lot, but it's not saving you when it's a 2v1.
Yeah, it's a very, very good point. I mean, if you think about some of the top tier supports, who are some of the supports that could deal with BKB carries? It's a Shadow Demon with the Purge, it's a Rubik with some good spells being stolen. The often forgotten support, it's Clockwork with the hook, have 2 spells that go through BKB magical immunity. The Clockwork cogs will cancel TPs when carriers are trying to BKB TP away, but seems like we perhaps spend a little bit too much time on the Clockwork pick. Let's go back to the rest of the draft. Well,
I just want to add one thing.
One more point about Clockwork. Yeah. Go ahead.
His 2 things with BKB are AoE, and his calls can hit BKB targets multiple times.
Sure.
I've seen it so many times where a BKB target hits twice by cog, and he just autoed the fight. So that's
gets bounced back and forth, and the BKB charges are gone by then.
I mean, if you guys can't tell, we really like Clockwork apparently, and I think he's a really fantastic hero.
Okay, we'll see what kind of fantastic work he could do for Invictus Gaming today. And they need this win, right? They're already down 0-1, lost the game previously to LGD and to the V-Bird himself. Meanwhile, Orange Esport picked up their first game against Team Liquid, so they're on a pretty hot streak. But the bans are on the second stage, Queen of Pain, Keeper of Light, and Juggernaut for Invictus Gaming. Meanwhile, Visage.
Oh no.
Oh no, Sand King and Rubik being banned. Now, shouldn't you be happy seeing bans? Because that is a ban.
I'm gonna go get God and get him to cast it.
Alright, no you're done. You're done, right?
I'm pretty much done at this point. There's no Visage.
I mean, we need expertise about the Lone Druid and Gyrocopter.
Orange banned him. Go IG. I was ready cheering for you. Go like IG times 2.
If you guys can't tell here, this is very impartial casting going on, and
no bias. It's not like I really like IG and Visage.
And
Ato sucks.
I can't believe that Blitz actually cheered for Orange Esport. Didn't he say that it's his long lost brother or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna see a wannabe Visage. It's gonna be Jakiro.
He's like Visage, but 2 heads and no power. Like, you know, like you have that like scale. It's like brawn to intelligence or something. And Visage, he's just all like super strong because he has 1 head, and TG has 2 heads. Not strong.
Yeah, I don't know what reference you're making there, but hopefully somebody out there would know. Jakiro is going to provide the AoE support, decent in terms of pushing alongside Dragonite if he has a Liquid Fire. But how does he actually work against Gyrocopter and Nyx Assassin? I feel like he might not even be that good of a pickup. Or is this a pickup so that Orange Esport don't get it? Because Jakiro plus Magnus is kind of dangerous to go up against. You could get Wombo Combo instantly.
I mean, I don't think it's so much because, as we just saw, they picked up the Lashak. Lashak, Leona, Jakiro, they're all sort of interchangeable here.
Right.
I mean, maybe they would prefer Jakiro a bit, but that doesn't really warrant the pickup. I think what really is good about the pickup is that you want that long-range stun against heroes like Gyro, Nyx, and Meg. All of them, you want to be able to chain up a stun to that Clockwork Hook.
From all angles.
All the time.
Yeah.
So, one thing about Clockwork Hook is that the stun duration is quite low. It's 1 second, 1.25, 1.5 in its respective level. So you need something that's very fast in order to chain it. So that could be ES Fissure, Jakiro stun,
Dragon Knight stun right here.
Dragon Knight stun if someone can like force stuff him maybe, or he's close enough.
Shadow Blade is a very
Shadow
common
Blade,
pickup.
yeah.
So yeah, they will have the long range chain stun if that's what they need. And perhaps that's exactly what they want against Magnus. You hook in, you Ice Path, you follow through, and you burst them down. Suddenly Orange is playing 5v4 without one of the best teamfight ultimates.
Something that I also really like. Whoa.
Oh, Invictus Gaming!
Okay, well, let me finish. Whoa. So that's a Dragon Knight, Clockwork, Jakiro tri-lane, I guess? Okay, well, I was gonna just say that what Jakiro also lets them do is when you're having someone like Lone Druid who can split push really well, he kills towers really fast, you want a support who can sort of play defense. So that when they're trying to counter push, your support can go deal with them.
Yep. Jakiro one of the best in
Jakiro's
business.
one of the best at that. Clockwork's really good at that. Clockwork can do it for anywhere. So Jakiro plus Clockwork, that's going to be very hard to push into early. And you know what's really hard to 5-man into early?
What is it?
A Warlock. Because
Yeah.
he drops a rock, you die.
Hey, this is also a Dignitas special, right? This is something that you guys picked in the past. And we're going to see a Witch Doctor.
Okay,
I
that's
personally
like
love this hero.
That's like my third favorite hero
Really?
after Visage and
Who's your
Spec.
second favorite?
I really like Spec.
Who?
Spectre.
Spectre, okay.
Yeah.
Alright, Witch Doctor, this is a hero that, again, today we are just seeing the return of 2010 Dota because we saw Visage rising back to dominance. Another tri-lane popular hero was Witch Doctor. His Voodoo registration back in the day was absolutely broken. Of course, since then it has been nerfed. Cask, Maledict, and Voodoo restoration kind of interchangeable. The two kind of secondary support as well, but really good long initiation range. There's a ton of lockdown. Let's talk about Death Ward plus RP. Don't you just get team wipe if that happens?
I mean, if you ever get Aghanim's on Witch Doctor.
Yeah.
But even without Aghanim's, that ulti does a ridiculous amount of damage.
Yep, we'll talk a little bit more about Witch Doctor and his Death Ward a little bit later on. Let's quickly introduce. I'll leave the IG team for you because you're the biggest fanboy. It's going to be Extinct playing Nyx Assassin, and that's going to be handling Witch Doctor. It looks like both of these guys are on support. Mushi, the carry player, will be playing the Gyrocopter. It's going to be KYXY, sorry, playing Magnus, and then we're going to see Ugor on the Leshrac.
And for IG, starting at the bottom lane, we have Chuan, the sort of the face of the IG, I would say, playing that twin-headed dragon. We have Zhou playing the Lone Druid. We have Faith playing the Warlock. That's a support Warlock.
I don't
like that at all.
Yeah.
We have Ferrari playing his Dragon Knight, and we have YYF playing that Clockwork. I think the reason that I'm not too sure it's the same reason as you, but I really dislike support Warlock just because. Okay.
Oh, Bear's dead.
Bear's.
Which doesn't matter too much considering the fact that he has dual support, but it's still
It really hurts when it's
a solo.
yeah.
But I mean, he's okay. There's a Hunter go into Mushi, which is what you're more scared about.
And that's quite a bit of EXP as well.
Yeah. Well, you were saying you were hating on this support.
Oh yeah. So one of the things that was mentioned earlier is that Chinese don't like Wisp because he's a support that can't do anything early.
The battle begins.
What does Warlock do? He actually does not do anything early.
He really doesn't.
And Wisp, at least you can go like Wisp is. I don't know. I think his ganking is also underrated. I know it's a pub, but I played TA once versus Pudge.
Okay.
And Jail from Team EG picked Wisp. And Pudge got level 3. Wisp came in. He tethered on Pudge. I just died. He's the movement speed. Yeah, he came from Fog. Like it's 1800 range on that tether. You can do some cool things with tether and ganking.
Right. Unfortunately, you can't do much with Warlock. There's Fatal Bond, there's Upheaval, and there's Warlock heal, which I imagine the heal is what he's going to be prioritizing in lane and get Zoe a little bit of safe farm. This is a very offensive tri lane. And I guess having heroes like Jakiro as well as Warlock heal is what you want. And unfortunately, let's say for example, Orange tri lane gets a little bit out of position. You're not going to punish it. You're not going to get a kill.
Look at these, the double warding by